So Jacob, right before this recording, we were discussing, we were watching a short that was funny involving Buc-ee's, and I came across a article, or not an article. Well, yes, an article, but I came across an instant in 2023, and it's just really funny to me. In 2023, crossover artwork of the Buc-ee's Beaver and Hatsune Miku was trending on Twitter. An Austin, Texas-based artist claimed responsibility for creating Bucksune Miku. Oh. In response, Buc-ee sent the artist a cease and desist letter regarding the stickers and use of the Beaver logo. The artist subsequently announced that they would no longer furnish the stickers by their shops, which sucks, but I really want to look up Bucksune Miku.
I see it right now.
Bucksune Miku. I'm gonna... Oh, that's pretty fucking great.
That is great. I kind of want it.
Yeah, I wish he didn't get sued.
Why? Why would they do that to him? It's because they're Texans. Let's be honest.
That Texas gold. Gotta get that.
There's
oil.
Also a Garfield sticker that's Hatsune Miku. I think it's made by the same guy.
I'm going to type in Garfsune Miku, and that's literally the first thing that came up. That's so funny. The art looks a little different, but it's definitely Garfield as Hatsune Miku. We're all going to go to hell.
We're already there, bud. We're not going. We're there. Destination is not in sight because it's all around us. Okay, so you're older than me, obviously.
Yeah.
May have been hard to tell, but I'm quite young compared to this stallion over here on the other side of the screen. As a kid, did your family own a Polaroid camera?
Actually no, but my ex-girlfriend did. So we had the instant, the Canon instant cameras that you would take to a pharmacy to get made into pictures, but not the direct action Polaroid ones.
This is really funny because at this moment in time we are the same, because I had the same exact experience as you. Mm-hmm. My family didn't have one, but my ex-girlfriend did have one. And I remember seeing one as a kid and being mind blown at how it just printed out the picture. And that's that is another core memory that I have from from childhood, as just seeing it print out and looking at it, just waiting for it to develop. I'm pretty sure it was also just a photo of a wall because I got to take one photo and I was like, but I distinctly remember when I found out my ex-girlfriend had one. I was like, those things are so cool, and I went and bought 30 photo packets because you have to buy the film cartridges for it. I went out and bought 30, not 30 individual packages, but 30 uses kind of thing. So 30 photos get printed out, and I immediately was like, bring your fucking camera to my house right now. Basically, she literally walked in, and I was like, that's mine. And I just started just taking photos.
I feel that.
She's just like, that's my camera, and I'm like, thank you for your sacrifice here. Just, I don't know why, but I've recently remember, because I have a bunch of them somewhere. They're just packed away because I took a bunch of pictures of just random bullshit with it when I did that. Because I think I kept, when you buy the film, it was one of those Fuji film ones that's $70, which, yes, is expensive in a way, but it's a camera, so in terms of cameras, it's not expensive at all. But the film, the cartridges come with 10 photos per cartridge, so I think I used I don't know. I either used like 15 or like we went halvesies and I just gave her the rest. But all my
Yeah.
photos, it's like half random bullshit of just like random objects that I had in the house, or, like, and my cat. And then the other half is just whatever like activity we were doing. We would just take pictures there. But I want to get one for like the summer. Almost as like a meme, but also because my brain is just like, ooh, it print cool picture when I press button. That's how
I
like
feel that though.
caveman brain it is, that like why I want it. But I want to get one for the summer and try and get a good bit of film for like, I don't know, June, July, August, and try and do something interesting like each week to where I have to like take a picture of it.
I feel that.
I feel like it would be a very cool, like at the end of the summer, it would be a very cool podcast segment where I just pull up these Polaroids. I just like, and this one is where we went and blew up a cow.
God.
Rate. I want you to rate this idea because depending on how you rate it, depends on if I'm going to get like buy one.
Fair.
It's a fair idea.
I give it like a 6 out of 10.
A 6. What would
Well, like,
make
'cause
it?
if
What would
that's
take
like,
it to an 8?
well, I guess it's more the idea itself is fine. It being the main reason you want to get the camera seems like maybe you should do
Well, no,
something else, like
no,
have
that's
some
not
other
the
plans
main.
for it.
The podcast is not the main reason because
Oh, I gotcha.
growing up, like my mom was like a photographer, so I always have an
Yeah,
interest in cameras. Like I want to save up and get like a ZV-10, but that is $700, and a Polaroid camera is $70. So
I feel you.
yeah.
Well, it's not that bad of an idea then, especially if you have plans like to actually use it outside of just the one idea.
Well, yeah, because I would enjoy. It's not just for the podcast. I would like the podcast segment is just a small part of it because, of course, the Polaroids themselves would be an excellent memory, and that the whole part of the summer would be, bringing it all together. So it would almost lead like trying to get a cool photo as a memory for the summer. It could lead you into weird adventures. You know what I mean? Me and my friend Noah, when I forget what it was, when he was swapping jobs or whatever, we were going to just drive to the beach to watch the sunrise and then drive back home. It's like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours away. And we were literally going to drive there, watch the sunrise, have a beer, wait an hour, get breakfast, and then drive home.
I feel that.
And
I guess there's
so
nothing wrong with that.
that would be an excellent moment to have a Polaroid camera for, because then it's like at the end of the summer, you get like all the Polaroids together, you put it in one of those fucking, I don't know, photo books, and you're like, this is for years down the line.
Yeah, I know. I feel that.
But also
That
the
yeah.
absurd pictures I would take with extra film of just random bullshit would also be funny. I would just be like, yes, and this is where we went shooting one day, and Noah showed me all these cool firearms and taught me a lot of stuff. And this is a slug I found on the side of the road.
God. Here's my cool slug pictures.
Rate my slug 10 out of 10, please. The picture
God.
immediately after that is salt in the middle of the road, and I'm like, you can guess what's under the salt.
God.
That would be the worst thing to show. It's so like malicious and demented.
I feel that.
Okay, I would like to say Happy Nowruz. It's a Persian holiday, Persian New Year. That's today.
Okay.
Neither one of us celebrate
Hallelujah.
it. But yeah, for people that do celebrate it, happy Nowruz.
I want to make sure.
Nowruz.
Yeah, okay.
What?
No, I was making sure that I knew where Persia was because I know it's not a country anymore, but I was trying to figure out what country it's
Iranian.
Iran. I gotcha. Yeah.
And the only reason I know about that is because I opened up Google, and sometimes when you hit the Google logo, it takes you to the random event of the day, and that just happened to be the random event. It's not because I actually knew anything about it.
Just oh yeah, it is Nowruz. Here we go. An Iranian or Persian New Year celebrated by various ethnic groups worldwide. It's based on the Iranian solar Hijri calendar on the spring equinox or on or around the 21st of March on the Gregorian calendar.
Yep.
So, oh, there's a couple countries that, let's see, Iraq, Azerbaijan, Iran, Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Albania, North Macedonia, and Kosovo, sorry, are all celebrated. I'm sure, you know, it's celebrated in America too by like descendants, but we don't have like a dedicated day for it like all those other places.
Okay. So, off topic, but me and you, have we talked about tea before? Like just the tea we like? 'Cause I'm pretty sure me and you both like unsweetened tea.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
That's what I've been drinking this whole time is unsweetened tea from Cookout.
That I've been drinking. This isn't unsweetened, but it's not necessarily like sweet tea. It's peach tea from Gold Peak. Have you ever had that?
Oh yeah,
Have it is?
I like Gold Peak's unsweetened tea. It's really hard to find here though. Being in the South, it's like that's not what people traditionally want. You know what I mean?
Too earlier. No, I agree. My dad looked at me like I had sinned because he asked me. He was like, "Do you want anything? Like, I'm going to the store. Do you want anything?" I'm like, "I want some unsweetened tea." And he was like, "What? What the fuck?" Because he's over there buying like the extra sweet, like gallons of like sweet tea, and I'm just like, I don't want it. I want a 0-calorie leaf water, please. With like 31 mgs of caffeine.
I think I've told this story before on the podcast, but I remember one time my ex-girlfriend went to Taco Bell to pick up dinner, and I had gotten an unsweet tea from there, and they gave her a sweet tea, and she knew I didn't want it, so she tasted it to test, and she was like, "Hey, this is unsweet, or this is sweetened. Can I get unsweet?" And the lady was like, "You drinking it unsweet?" And she was like, "It's for my boyfriend." And the lady working there goes, "He drinks it for fun?"
For free?
God.
This is terrible. That's terrible.
I don't think it's terrible.
No, I mean like that she would say that.
I think it's funny, but yeah, I'm a big fan of tea. I'm also a huge fan of kombucha, so
Kombucha,
which
these
is
nuts.
which is
God,
like fermented bacteria mixed with tea.
We've talked about this on the podcast before, but I would love to try kombucha, but I have a feeling I would hate it.
It's such a difficult taste to explain, especially since there's so many variations, right?
Yeah.
That it's like, I think we've talked about this on the podcast too, but it's like once you, how do I describe it? Once you kind of get a taste for it, it's easy to pick out the ones you like. And I really would say that there's something for everyone, so to speak. But I really couldn't be positive of that because it does have such a hard vinegar taste, right?
Yeah.
that I wouldn't really know. I guess how to describe it without it basically sounding like it. I mean, it tastes like vinegar. It's got a lot of vinegar taste to it, and it's really heavily fermented. But I've always just enjoyed it taste wise, and because it helps my IBS.
I feel like there are a lot of things that just have, that are like an acquired taste where, I didn't really like peach tea, to be fair. Like, of course, I didn't like unsweetened tea as a kid, right? Because I guess,
Yeah,
when you're in the South, you always grow up drinking sweet tea. But,
yeah,
the more you drink or eat something, the more you're just like, dang, I actually really like that. I almost
yeah. I know
wonder.
what you mean.
I wonder if there's like a psychological explanation for that. Like maybe it's just related to comfort. Like you're used to something so much where it's like that unexpected taste, even though it's not gonna be what you're used to. If it just off puts you in the beginning.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's like the explanation behind that. Because it's like once you like by the time I had drunk like a whole bottle of an unsweetened tea, I was like, okay, this is actually really good. But it's just
yeah.
that initial like first two or three sips where you're like, I don't know if I'm in the right boat here. Then you're like,
No, I certainly understand that. It's definitely a very acquired taste, or it's more of it's not an acquired taste. It's like it you have to want like the mellowness of it, and I think like if you're traditionally used to drinking sweet tea or even like I don't know flavored teas, right? Then it's like once you switch to something like that, it kind of has like a well, this is nothing kind of effect on you.
yeah. The only reason I've drunk this peach tea is because, and don't mind the trash in the unsweetened tea bottle. There's like a beef jerky bag in there that's empty and like gum. But these bottles are very like similar to each other. There's only like a vague difference.
Yeah, so you bought one on accident the first time.
Yeah, like look at that. There's barely any difference in the color of these
No, I
tops.
agree.
And I bought like I literally walked to the shelf, and they were just stacked like behind each other. So I thought they were the same thing. I just bought one, I bought two, went to D&D, opened one up and drunk it, and I immediately was like just dying just because I wasn't expecting peach tea.
That's fair. I remember you text me while you or messaged me on Discord while you were doing that, and you were like, "If you had the peach tea from Golden Peak, it's actually pretty good."
Yeah. Wait, did I actually send that to you during D&D?
Yeah, it was either during D&D or the day after.
That's funny. I was pleasantly surprised to say the least.
I can imagine.
I also saw that they had raspberry tea, and because the peach tea is so good, I'm actually like, I might get that raspberry tea.
That's fair. I'm not a fan of raspberry personally, but it's like I do like a lot of flavored teas, so I would definitely give it a shot.
Raspberries made with beaver butt sweat. Like raspberry flavoring.
Oh, that's cool.
I love my beaver butt sweat.
Yeah, it's a shame they made it illegal for me to just catch them and lick it off myself.
That is
Raspberry.
unhinged. That is unhinged. Please refrain from speaking to me again. Just-
Don't speak to me or my children ever again.
I can't believe they stopped me from catching them and licking it off myself. What the fuck? There
you know-
is. Wait,
I don't think I've ever actually seen a beaver in my life. Like, even in a zoo.
now beavers are just propaganda, deep state propaganda.
Beavers don't exist. Everybody knows that.
Jumping back to the cameras, because you said you got like the little Canon disposable ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember those as well. I didn't have as much fun as those as the Polaroid one, because come on, who doesn't like seeing a Polaroid develop in front of their eyes? And if someone says they don't like it, they're lying. They're fakes.
That's fair.
But there's actually a new trend because okay, so the cheap the Canon ones, the disposable cameras, they do have that unique filter-esque quality to them. You can clearly tell when like a photo is taken with one of them when it's older, right?
Yeah.
Just the way it looks. So people are actually buying those old disposable cameras and taking it apart and taking the little lens, because the lens is like, it's very small. It is not even the size of like this flashlight, right? It's just a very small little lens. They're taking that and they're taking a lens cover for an actual like DSLR camera, and they're lining it up and cutting out a little hole for it and putting in the camera the lens from the disposable camera and like hot gluing it in and taking photos on their DSLR with that lens. And it's giving it the same exact effect as if, you had a disposable camera, but now it's digital, and so you can upload it places, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I see that kind of stuff a lot where people take like the old, like not necessarily older, but like the simpler version of something and then just kind of DIY it into the more complicated version, basically, or like an upscaled version.
Yes. It's very cool. Many wow. Let's see here. I wish I had more topics to talk about, but I'm be honest, I've been writing a lot, not for D&D, but based off of D&D. Which, I've sent you a little snippet of it to look at when you get the chance. But
Yeah,
that's what I've been doing.
that's fair. Yeah, I have been playing video games and working, and then that's been about it. Let's see, what am I working on right now? I know we were talking about doing some Stardew, the new update releasing today. If you're watching this one, of course, when you're watching this, it'll be 2 weeks ago. But yeah, we're planning on getting into that while it's fresh and hot and all that. Hopefully today, but we're not sure. But
I did see
mainly
a TikTok. This is just a small thing. I saw one TikTok about it, and I saw it last night at 12 a.m. or this morning at 12 a.m. And it was literally just a girl being like, "New Stardew Valley update," be like, and she walks over to the fridge, pulls out a tub of mayonnaise, and just goes, just because apparently you can drink mayonnaise in Stardew now.
Oh God.
That's it.
I mean, I can't say I'm not happy about that. It sounds great. I plan to force feed you as much mayonnaise as possible, but I just don't. I don't think that mental image I'm getting is not great. Although I have at times been extremely lazy, and I've like gone and been like making a sandwich or something, and then I'm like try to rinse the knife off from the mayonnaise, and I'm just like, this is going so slow, so I just lick it off and then clean it and put it in the dishwasher. I've definitely done that before.
The other day before we went to D&D, we stopped at Food Lion to get snacks.
And you just got mayonnaise?
No, I don't like mayonnaise, but Noah bought like a bag of like chicken wings. That you just like Tyson chicken wings, and then we walked over to the sauce section, and he looks at the jar of mayonnaise, and he's like, "What if I just stuck the chicken wings on forks and just dipped it in the jar of mayonnaise?" And I'm like, I quite literally think there will be a revolt at the D&D table if you do that in front of us. There will be a coup.
I have had moments, especially when I was really poor, like where I've been like, well, I don't have any condiment in the fridge. I can't even find like even my drawer of all the fast food condiments is empty. Guess I'll just dip my fries and chicken nuggets into mayonnaise.
Have you ever had this meal? Because as a kid, sometimes, I want something sweet. But again, there was a point where I was also poor. Family was also poor. So you just take bread, you take butter, and you take cinnamon, and you like
Yeah,
toast it.
I have heard of that, but I never did that myself.
I did that. That shit was bad, but good at the time.
I credit. See, I didn't grow up like really poor. I got poor because I was dating a girl that my family disowned me for dating. And so I didn't have like any family help and I was unemployed and stuff, so I was trying to figure shit out. But I made it work. But what happened was we would end up pretty poor, and so that instilled in me one of my all-time favorite snacks. And it's gonna probably bother a lot of people, but unfortunately, it's peeling and eating an onion like an apple, because they're like 30 cents a piece.
Yeah.
So it's like just buy a bunch, throw them in the veggie drawer in the fridge, and then just peel one and eat it like an apple.
I'll defend you here. That's not as bad as what you could have said. Just like that's not the worst thing you could have said to me.
Yeah, there's definitely. I mean, there's I I've done like some. I don't think I've really ever committed like a true food crime. It's like I've been really high and like not had any, I guess, good snacks on hand. So like I'll try to make something. Like I know at one point I had Triscuits, and I was like, I don't just want to eat raw Triscuits, so I like made a dip out of like chopping up a bunch of white onions, salt, pepper, and mayonnaise all into like a thing, and then like dipped them into that. But I don't think I've ever committed like a true food crime.
That's not that bad because mayonnaise is like the base for most sauces,
Yeah,
which is why I don't like sauce, to be fair.
that's fair.
Oh, fuck. I literally had the thought of it. Okay. I don't know if this is a food crime. And to be fair, no one can say that their own food take is not a food crime because if you're eating it, you're already biased, right? Like,
That's fair.
but you tell me, right? Because I love spicy food. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when it burns.
Okay.
Sometimes I will make a peanut butter sandwich, and I will cover that bitch in like red chili flakes, just on top of the peanut butter, and then like eat that. Is that a food sin?
Repeat that for me?
Do you know what red chili flakes are?
Yeah, yeah.
I would put that on my peanut butter sandwich.
That's not that weird to me. I really want to say that like spicy peanut butter is like a thing. Like
I've never seen it, but you're probably right.
because you think of something like Kung Pao chicken, right? Doesn't that have like peanut butter in it and it's like spicy? So it's like cuz well there's a type of like Chinese cuisine. I don't know if it's actually like
I know what you're talking. Yeah.
yeah. Is spicy peanut butter a thing?
There's
There's even
one.
brands you can buy.
This
There's
one has
yeah, you're right.
habanero pepper. That's crazy. How much protein is
That's-
in that?
But then, like, yeah, like spicy peanut butter noodles, which is basically what I was just talking about.
Spicy peanut butter. Bro. Do you... Okay.
What? Pad Thai, that's what it's called.
Oh, yeah, okay. I do know that.
Yeah, that because that has peanut butter and is like spicy and stuff. So
Do you
or it
know...
can be.
How often have you gone to, like steakhouses / saloons?
Don't think I've ever been in a saloon, but I've been to a good number of steakhouses.
Okay. Well, then hear
What are
me
we in
out.
the fuck? Are we in Deadwood? What's a where are you going to saloon?
Don't worry about it. But have you been to a steakhouse or saloon that is, they give you like the bucket of peanuts?
Yeah. In fact, there's one here. Texas Roadhouse does that.
I didn't. We around us got a Texas Roadhouse, but I haven't been to one yet. I would like to say, let's see. There was one that I've been to when I was really young. It was in North Carolina. We went there every so often, like whenever we went down there to get like fireworks or whatever.
I gotcha.
But it was called Sagebrush, which is it's a restaurant. I don't even know if it's still a thing. Okay, it seems like it's still a thing, mainly in North Carolina, which is facts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was good. Like, it's a great place, but at the same time, the most notable thing about it is I remember getting the bucket of peanuts, and it was the first thing I'd ever. This is the first time I've ever seen that because I was a kid. But they also had like a train going along the rafters, just driving around with random bullshit in it. But I love peanut butter. I love peanuts, so I'm sitting there eating the peanuts, and I'm putting them back in the bucket. And then I remember
Okay.
I think the guy like my mom was dating at the time literally was like, "No, that's not what you do." And I'm like, "What do you mean? It's manners. You want me to just throw them on the table?" And he goes, "No, you throw them on the fucking floor like a real man." And I'm like, "What? What do you mean?"
Yeah, that's what Texas Roadhouse here used to do, and then they got in some trouble about, well, essentially exposing everybody with peanut allergies to stuff. Hold on, I'm getting a phone call, and I need to take it real fast.
Okay. So, Zach, I'm glad to see that you're back from your phone call with your hitman. Everything going good?
Indeed.
You hiring a hit on Josh?
It is. Yeah. Josh, that was who.
What?
If you hear any noises, don't investigate them.
What do you mean?
So, one thing I was trying to talk about before I got so rudely interrupted by a phone call, there's a restaurant in a town about an hour and a half away from me here that I go to sometimes called Lambert's Cafe. There's 3 of them. There's one in Sikeston, Missouri, one in Ozark, Missouri, and then one near me in Foley, Alabama.
Missouri.
And it's the thing that I don't understand it because I haven't been there since I was a kid, but they throw rolls at you.
That's
like
weird, but okay.
I mean, okay, yeah. Lambert's home of the throne rolls. People who visit Lambert's Cafe for the first time are invariably amazed at the generous portions served on each order. These generous servings, along with our throwed rolls, have inspired many questions. We cannot describe our activity in great detail, but we've endeavored to point out some of the highlights of our throwed rolls cafe. What is throwed roll? Because the fucking picture even is of a dude chucking a dinner roll. So, do they throw rolls? Like, do you just go, "I need more rolls," and they just hurl them at you?
I'm pretty
like,
sure that's what happens, yeah.
That's fucking wild. I like how their menu is just a poorly loading PNG. PNG.
There was a restaurant around here that I very much enjoyed as a kid because we used to go there like every week. But it got replaced. Let me make sure I'm not going to dox myself by saying what it got replaced by because I don't know how popular it is.
I guess that's fair.
Ba 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 da ba. Come on, scroll the fuck out. Okay, I'm not gonna say the name of it, but it got replaced. The place that it is now is more of like a sports bar. It's kind of saddening,
Yeah,
because I remember going to like that restaurant as a kid, and I have memories there of like my youngest memories of being like at a restaurant or at that place before it got changed. But the one thing I think like young Jacob learned at this restaurant is he liked he liked thigh-high socks because all the waitresses had thigh-high socks, and they would always, because, you know, I don't know. I was a little kid. I was like, I don't know, fucking 3, 4, sitting at the booth, and all the waitresses would come over and say, like, hi to me and sit next to me as they, like, talk to my mom. I'm like, this is crazy. This is what's happening right now is blowing my mind. Like, little Jacob. And it's always stuck with me. But the reason why I bring this up is because as a kid, apparently, you know, as I was younger, I used to eat, like, a bunch of stuff. I'm a very picky eater now. But I can definitively say I remember when I became a picky eater. And so, do you know, like, that idea of there's, like, a certain point in your childhood where you forget everything from, like, being a baby and, like, you start remembering stuff from, like, a different point on?
Yeah.
So it's like, once you get to, like, year 5 or 4 or 5, you'll start to not remember, like, whatever the fuck happened the past few years, but then that's where, like, your memories start for the rest of your life, kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm talking about here, because I remember being at this restaurant and being like, I would like chicken tendies and French fries, and I remember my mom looking at me, being like, "You don't want cheese fries with bacon?" And I remember looking at her and being like, ew, why would I want cheese or bacon? What do you mean? I've never had that in my life. Just, like, visibly disgusted. And she's just like, you ate it literally yesterday when you went to a birthday party here. I'm like,
Well,
no, never did that before. And I, like, to this day, I don't remember ever eating that there. But if I look at pictures from the birthday party, I 100% was. I don't remember the birthday party either. So I know it happened that, like, that day, like, that night when I went to sleep, it just, like, factory reset my memories. So much so to where, like,
I feel you.
I remember, like, eating, like, the rolls that were served at the table. And I'm just like, ooh, this roll is nice. And my mom was like, here, put some of the, like special butter or whatever on it. And I'm like, ew, why would I do that? That's disgusting. I've never had that before in my life. And she's just trying to, like, put it on my roll. And I'm just, like, fucking, like, no, go away. Just smacking at her.
Lord.
It's like Attack on Titan, because I'm just a child. I'm like 5. Just like, go away. Dark Souls music starts playing.
All right. Well, I got off the phone for the second time, so thankfully we've got that taken care of, and I don't expect any more calls, which would be real great because it's a little annoying. But that was an important call. The first one was not an important call. The first one was literally my bank being like, "Hey, there's a new banker working. I just want to let you know I have all your tax stuff ready for you." It's like, cool. You've never personally called me before. How about we just couldn't have just sent a little notification?
Yeah, whenever my bank calls me, my anxiety, like, skyrockets.
I know. The first thing I think is like, oh God, I've been hacked.
Yeah.
Someone broke into my shit.
Easy anti-cheat, no.
Oh God, easy anti-cheat has my bank account password. So yeah, you want to give Steam your bank account or what?
Yeah. Okay, dude. They really got me one year because my bank is notoriously, at least with my stuff, they fuck it up all the time. It's not on me at all because, you know, whatever. I'm just chilling. I'm just using my card, doing my thing. They'll randomly call me and be like, hey, your account's locked. I'm like, I haven't even done anything. And they're like, hey, it's just protocol. And I'm like, what the fuck? But one year, I hadn't had any trouble with them all year, right? No call, The only thing, like, I didn't even interact with anyone at the bank. The only interaction I had at the bank itself was like an ATM interaction. And
Yeah.
they call me. I'm like, I don't pick up. Fuck that shit. I don't answer. I let them leave a voicemail so I can assess if it's important or not. And I never answer any like number that's the bank. This is a smart thing for anyone out there listening. Never, like, if you get a phone call from the bank, right? And
Yeah.
like your phone says it's your bank, it could still be fake.
Yeah.
Like, you can spoof a number and have it still like come up on caller ID as your bank. I never answer
Yeah.
that bullshit. I always let it go to voicemail, listen to the voicemail, and then I initiate the call to my bank, so I know that it's actually them. And I'll be like, "Hey, I got a voicemail about this. Is that like legitimate?" That's what you do. But on this
Yeah.
particular year, they called me and they were like, "Hey, we just wanted to say happy birthday." And I'm like, first of all, it's like 2 days after. Second of all, you've never done this before. Why now? Third, then like at this point, there's a third point. You never did it after. This is like 3 years ago. Why'd you do it then?
Man, I'll tell you, one of my favorite things nowadays to do, probably probably a little mean spirited, but honestly, it's really funny. Is do you ever get the texts that are just like, Is this blah blah blah? You gave me your number at blah blah blah." Like, not, like, but
All
they'll
the
send like a picture,
fucking
like,
time.
yeah, but they'll send you like a picture of like a stock Asian looking woman,
Oh,
like
I
just
don't
like
get
a stock
those.
picture.
I don't get
Oh,
those.
I do sometimes. They're not naked or anything. It's just literally like someone went on fucking like Getty Images and was like pretty girl, and then just sent that picture. But all the time when they text me, they'll be like, "Is this Mary from blah blah blah?" I'll be like, "I'm so sorry. I thought you knew. Mary fell out of a train yesterday. They're still trying to find all the parts of her. I'm in a real bad state, but I really appreciate you reaching out to you, a friend of the family." And then they usually just don't ever respond.
Yeah, I don't respond to those because the more you respond to them, the more like you get put on the yes list to like get more.
I mean, I guess that's fair.
This isn't my story,
Well, I have one with
but
it, so.
one of my favorite people on The Yard, which is a podcast that has all of like Ludwig's friends, like his old roommates and current, of course, friends. But there's one of them. His name's Slime. He's my favorite. He's unhinged. He's perfect. He's perfect in every way of comedic value and everything. I'm just throwing that out there. But this might have been like a year ago when he told this story. And it's just, someone texted him, and he was just fed up with it that day. Of course, it was like a spam text. And so he just replies, "I'm going to shoot myself in the head right now, and on my death note, it's going to have your phone number and say that you're the reason." And then,
Good lord.
and then literally, he goes, everyone in the room just goes, "Bet you she didn't message you back." And then he goes, "No, actually she did. She did message me back." And it said, "Here's the like toll-free number for the suicide hotline." But I'm like, what's worse? Having like a spam text actually respond to you, or just saying that to some random woman that has no idea?
Who knows? I don't know which is worse. They're both pretty wild, but them responding is pretty wild in general. But I mean, I guess if that's like what, I don't know how to describe it. If that's like, I guess if they took him seriously, then it's like, I mean, I guess that's good on them.
I mean, that's probably the best course of action, but at the same time, that was the most unhinged thing but it's great. It's amazing.
That is funny though.
Yeah, he's a very unique person to listen to on a podcast. For one, he does no research into any of their guests. So, like, people will come on and he's just like, "What's up? I know you from this one, like, regular interaction. Like, they saw each other at a party." And then they'll be like, "Yeah, what video of mine do you like?" And he's like, "You make videos?"
God. No, I mean, I've had moments like that before, not in person, but I've definitely had moments where it's like, oh, yeah, that's the person from this thing. And it's like, that's one thing they did. They've actually had 1,200 episodes of a podcast that they're actually popular for. It's like, oh, didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like how people knew, like, Joe Rogan from X Factor or whatever the fuck he was on, Fear Factor.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was Fear Factor.
And then, but people nowadays are like the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah. I think he was in the UFC for a bit, or like a commentator in the UFC.
Could have been. I still got the Bussies Hatsune Miku pulled up.
God.
The Hatsune Bussies.
Jesus, God help me.
There is no help for you. Oh my God, the person made what? The person there's a Sailor Moon Bucky's sticker.
I'd imagine there's a lot of different ones made by some other people too. Just thinking about it.
But only the Hatsune Miku one got taken down.
Well, I do think it was because he was selling it. I bet if he wasn't selling it, they might not have cared. Just a personal opinion, of course. Then again, I don't know how litigious Bucky's is known to be.
I don't know. My friend Cody posted a picture in the group chat literally last night, and it's a picture of him holding a sticker up, and it's Bucky. I can't show it. I can't show it on video because the main frame of it is Bucky's. It's just the Bucky's logo, but he's wearing like a helmet with night vision goggles. But there's another sticker behind it, which is just a naked anime girl. So the thing is Noah responds to it, and he goes, "Oh, what did he say? Oh, fuck." He goes, "What's that? Behind the Bucky sticker there, bud?" And then Cody just goes, "My couch? You've sat on it 100 times. How do you not remember?" Just because I'm just like, yes, this is the perfect response.
No, I feel that. I used to have a bunch of cringe-ass anime posters, but I took them all down when my 2 exes ago was like, we need to make this house look a little more adult. And I was like, I think you're right. I didn't, like, throw them away or anything. I just put them all in somewhere around here. One of these tables around here. They're all stuffed in the bottom drawer.
I feel like hentai stickers should be displayed loud and proud. And if a girl cannot accept that, that sounds like a them problem. I'm going to be honest, most of the girls that I enjoy being around also have hentai stickers with them. So maybe you're hanging around the wrong people.
I mean, I got...
Whoa, be careful what you're about to put on the screen.
No,
okay.
I got this.
Is that Nurse Joy?
It's Hookup School of Medicine. It's like a hit on a Rogi game. And that is on my container of definitely not illegal substances.
Ah.
But yeah, it actually is it's where I keep my macaroni. But I just keep cold macaroni on my bedside table. But
Wait a minute. No, the
this-
cold macaroni is the your equivalent of that nice crisp water in the middle of the night. You wake up and you just have to have a
just a
spoonful.
big. No, I just had to take it by the hand. Just grab it with the hand. Just.
You don't even wash your hands or like lick it. You take one bite, your mouth open, the macaroni still in it, chewed once, and you're just back to sleep.
Exactly. But no, that's my current girlfriend. She put that on there. She's also got like a hentai cup, but it's not around here. I'd show it to you. But she also
Is it like the
decorates
Gamer
all her
Subs cup?
cups. No, but she decorates all her cups with like stickers and Hello Kitty stuff. So, but
Wow.
she has like an actual like it's like a girl, like with her arms behind her head doing like the ahegao, but her eyes have a censorship bar and her tits have a censorship bar, and they both have the Japanese letters for hentai on them.
Wait a second. Wait a second. I think I know who makes that cup.
We bought it at Five and Below, so
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. But you can go ahead and leave us out if you want to. We're getting to about that time.
well, we had so many interruptions, I got lost on where our time was, but thank you all so much for watching. I don't think I remember to intro this at any point, but thank you all so much for watching. I've been Zach. You can find me at Pixelated Trash on YouTube. That's Jacob. You can find him at NazirTL on YouTube, at NazirTL on X, and twitch.tv/NazirTL. You can find the channel Spotify at the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast. You can find our YouTube at the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast, and you can find our X at the Fluffy Biscuits. Extra F because the original was taken. So thank you all so much for watching and listening. Bye!